All right, gonna get this stream started a few minutes early today. Good evening, folks. Just doing a little bit of rolling at Volkhov tonight, getting the last bit of money we need to get our third good spinning rod, which I'm going to go with the biggest Model 1, I believe, because it just future-proofs me for a very long time, and we're at a little over 1,100 silver, and it costs 16 something, so we may be able to reach that tonight if we get some good bite rate out here. But I'll run my usual strategy of 3 different color snatchers out. Hey Twitch, how you doing tonight? I'm gonna get this third one out on the water here. I don't know why I've got the wrong one cast here. There we go. Doing well. Oh, is the cam not showing up? Let me, yeah, let me see what's going on with that here. Should bring it back up. There we go. Thanks for letting me know. Must have accidentally hit my hotkey for that while I was getting everything set up. Yeah, just doing a little bit of Volkhov to get the last few hundred silver I need to get a Model 1, and then I can start properly trolling. Right now, I'm kind of playing it risky. Here's our first fish of the night. Little chub, it looks like. Yeah. I have the Titan set up on a rod that's technically too small for what it is. It's only the rod is set up for 11 kilo max drag, whereas the Titan has 12.7. So I'm just going to be a little bit conservative with the friction brake on it, and it should be fine. I don't expect to catch anything that's going to put it at too much risk. You doing any fishing right now, Twitch? Ooh, it's hot still. Tonight's tea is an apricot tea by the Franck company. See if I can get this to show up on the camera okay. It's probably going to be hard to tell with that light. Over there. Yeah. Got something on here. It's a pretty good tea. Always love my fruit-based ones. All right, so we got our first decent fish hit of the night on our second fish. Hopefully this will be a good salmon. Yeah, we're about 450 or so silver from the Model 1 at the Norwegian Sea. Very nice, very nice. The fish hitting pretty good out there today. We got on here. Didn't fight very long after I started reeling. Come on up here, fish. Yeah, apricot's a... Ooh, looks like it is a Ladoga salmon. Nice, almost 6 kilo too. Reel in this other line. Yeah, the apricot tea, I'm not a huge fan of like apricots on their own, but they definitely make a very nice tea. I have a little pike there. I feel like there's a lot of fruit like that where I don't really care for them as just raw fruit, but if they're dehydrated or processed in some way, I can stomach them a lot more. I guess I've always just been more of a vegetable guy when it comes to raw. But I do need to, after the discussion the other evening on one of the streams, I think I am going to try looking into making my own homemade tea blends and trying some of those out, do some special streams, making them and trying them out, get some viewer ideas on blends to put together. That is a tiny chub right there. It'd even be called a chub. I'd call it a skinny. Yep, Raw fruit. Although I guess like that is a weird way to term it, because I mean vegetable, you definitely say raw because people cook vegetables, but yeah, I guess fruit isn't necessarily given the raw moniker when it's just by itself because it doesn't tend to be like cooked. So I guess that is a weird way to put it. This Franc tea I've had for a while. I'm not sure where it's from. It's got several different languages on the packets. I'm guessing it's a European brand. Extra crispy fruit. All right, got something on here again. Bite rate seems pretty good here tonight, so that's good. Last couple times it was pretty bad. Another tiny pike there. So far seems about even between the 3 different color snatchers, so no need to try and double up on any yet. Fish on line 2 here. So are you fishing for any particular fish out there at the sea right now, or just whatever's hitting? Xander. Feels like it may have something. Let me do a little trick here to see. Yep, it does. Oh, this one did at least. Hey, there's another small salmon, but it's good to see that the salmon are hitting more than usual right now. Another small pike. All right, now the sun's almost set, so got a few minutes of probably nothing hitting. The downside of trolling Volkhov. So the other thing I wanted to get to tonight is discuss setups for float rigs for Sura and Seversky. So skill-wise, I don't have match rods unlocked yet, but I do. But I've got Bolognese rods, and I do have carp hair rigs and slider rigs unlocked. Oh, I guess I don't quite have slider rig yet, but something to discuss on that. I don't know what size the fish out there typically are, so I don't know what sort of capacity I should be looking for in a rod. And I also don't know if it's worth having 3 Bolognese setups, or if I can get away with like 2 bolos and a telescopic, since I've got the red stick telescopic still, which is pretty good. I've got, if they're big fish, I can reuse my large reels. If not, I've got the Adriatica and a couple of the Surtees that I could use if the fish there tend to be around like 6 kilo or something. So if anybody has any, I was not paying attention to what I was doing there. Yeah, I want to get, because I definitely want to try, since both of those rivers are pretty big on float fishing, and I haven't done any float fishing in quite a while. I want to try to just focus on the float fishing there. And so I assume that I'm going to need a bolo to get to reach a lot of the spots. I'm not really sure. I haven't been to either one or really looked at anything on either of those rivers, but yeah, like some people say they're fun. I just I guess because I don't necessarily know that it's an end game type of deal. I think it's more of a the float fishing portions of them. Most people don't enjoy the float fishing, so not a lot of people mess with it. but I know both of them are also good for bottom fishing, and at least one of them is good for spin fishing as well. I just want to try and knock out some float fishing to relax on some streams with it. But I don't know if it's a case where I can do 2 bolos in a telescopic, or if I really need to focus on getting 3 bolo sets put together, and what size I should be trying for. Got a little cucumber action here. I meant to get some more cucumbers and salt to make some more of those while I was at the Oldberg. It's all right; they're not very expensive, even out here. I can buy some more if I need to. Yeah, I haven't tried it at all. I've really only done all of my float fishing so far has been on telescopic, which I'm at almost 42%. Did quite a bit of float fishing back when I was doing a lot of carp fishing. I would do 2 feeder rods out and then a telescopic rod, so I can catch some stuff on there and level that as well. And I'm sure, really just like with feeder fishing at this level, the silver and XP per hour is probably not great compared to like bream fishing or trolling, but it'll be something to try, something to relax with, something different if nothing else. It's one thing I think to try and break up the gameplay loop. If all I do is troll for silver all the time, starts to get the content gets a little bit stale. So I figure I can do some float fishing, go for some different species that way. But I've heard one person suggested in a previous stream that you don't really need to go more than like the starter kit for the float fishing. But I think again, that may just be coming from a perspective of not a lot of people care about the float fishing, so maybe they haven't really bothered to invest or try to maximize it. So, I don't know. Let's see. Once I get my boat repositioned, I need to look and see what the travel costs are for both of those locations as well. Let's see. We've got 16 silver for there and 17 for there. I'm assuming the maps are probably between 5 to 10 silver each. We'll start, I guess, we'll start at the Donitz River for the first one. Since it's higher float rating, so it's known for pike, catfish, and sturgeon if I'm going like bottom fishing. So it seems like I'm definitely going to need to have some strong leaders out there, if nothing else. It's kind of one of those things without a lot of people that fish in those areas with float fishing, it's hard to draw from experience on that. So it'll be very much a learn as I go type of situation, I imagine. I don't even know if those places have like tackle shops or anything special. So I figure I'll get what I need on Volkhov just to be sure. I'm not even sure. I don't think the starter kits for float fishing, is there one of those that is set up for bolo, or are they all telescopic? Oh, nighttime on Volkhov. Yeah, that's what I don't remember looking at the pro one, but I know at the very least the cheapest one is a telescopic. So yeah, I think you're right. I think they are all tele. So we don't really even have a starter kit to go by. It seemed like when I looked at bolo rods, most of them only went up to around a 10 kilo capacity anyways. So I can use the Adriatica. I've got these sparks, but I think one of these setups has somewhere. Yeah, I've got a Lacerti there, and I think I want another spark. Somewhere I thought I had another Lacerti, maybe not, but I imagine the Adriatica and Lacertis will probably be sufficient. But then again, if the Seversky has like the big pike and sturgeon and catfish, if those go for the float fishing setups, then that's a whole different ball game there. In-game chat has been very, very quiet lately. Yeah, I just think that the newness of the sea has run its course, and I think a lot of people that came back for that got their fill. Now we're stuck with the hardcore devotees. All right, sun's starting to come back up, so hopefully the fish should start hitting again here soon. The other thing I probably need to check on before I go to those rivers, which I mean, it's still a little ways off. I've got to at least still get my my Model 1. Hope if we can get some good salmon or large pike and asp out here today, I can probably get that tonight, but and then get the setups. But I need to look into what kind of bait to bring out there as well. I don't think, can I tell by the, I guess I can go to, no, see, I wish they would update this record stain so that you could select a body of water other than the one that you're on and look at that body of water's records for the time, instead of just having your body of record and then just species records. It'd be nice to be able to do that. Or they should allow you to make your first trip to a body of water, make the travel free, and then the cost kick in every time after that. So you kind of go scope it out to get an idea of what it is and what you need to look prep for it, and it doesn't cost you anything. I remember that early on that bit me as I went to Belaya as soon as I unlocked it, and couldn't catch a dang thing out there. It was a total waste of the money. Granted, it was only like 8 silver, but that was back when I had like 60 silver total. All right, I'm going to do another lap around between the islands, and if the bite rate doesn't pick up, I'll go do my eastern route, go down the check mark to the 10 and back up. You know, we're into summertime now, and I don't know, are there any like big summer blockbuster movies coming out this year? Like this feels like a very lackluster summer blockbuster season. I guess there's the new Transformers, which not, that's almost a 2 kilo chub. I'm surprised a chub that large is still only worth 420 XP. Yeah, not necessarily a great movie, but it's a proper big budget summer movie at least. Seems like all the big movies nowadays are releasing in like April and early May instead of June and July like they used to. Let's hope for some nice big old juicy salmon through here. And I'm a little concerned because the bite rate when we first started was really good, and the way Volkhov tends to be, if you have a really good bite rate one day in game, the next in game day is just going to be crap. We may have a bad one. All right, go ahead and circle around here and start heading towards the eastern route. See if we can pick up some more fish that way. We got something on line 1. Yeah, looks like it's a decent pike, 2.5 kilo. Couple silver. Tea and pickle action here. It's a shame they just had the in-game announcement for their weekend junior tournaments that the administrators run. It's a shame that those don't work with Steam account players. A little pike there. Well, it's still a little bit early in the morning and chilly. I'm going to try to scope a little bit into the little shallower section here, see if there's some asp hitting. Yeah, I don't know if it's a technical issue that's preventing them from doing that, or what the case may be. I always wanted to try one of them, but I don't want to go through all the hoops of migrating my account to a standalone account and all that. Do they have a similar tournament for past level 25? Another pike. So the pike bite rate's been pretty decent. Not particularly large pike, but hopefully that will change. Go, got another fish along here. Another pike. This is over 1 kilo. Well, it was went all right. Did learn a few things. Got a few fish. I didn't stick around too late. I was just sort of more or less testing it out for about 20-30 minutes before I called it a night. But it went all right, and I'm wrapping up the last few things I need to do on there from the newbie area, so I can go to the mainland and start doing the stream proper, where I'm out there in the risk zone of being killed by other players. But should be a fun little romp thing to do on the side now and then. I want to try at some point I need to get a good capture card set up and try some streams every now and then doing some old retro fishing games. Like I've got my little chub there. Got my NES and Super Nintendo. I've got the old bass fishing games on those. This could be a fun thing to look back and see where the fishing video games all started. All right, let's see. Look back around, go back through the deep section here. And if we don't see some action, I'll go ahead and move through and head towards the check mark. Yeah, on regular NES there was the black bass fishing, and I believe there was one other one. And then Super Nintendo had a handful of the fishing games. They had Super Black Bass and a couple other random ones. I had both of the Black Bass cartridges, but the others I'll probably have to run through my EverDrive with the ROM. All right, we got something potentially decent on here. This is on the HSV. We got our first Atlantic of the night if we're lucky. Some splashed above water, but not enough to. Oh, let's see. Looks like Ladoga. Nope, it was an Atlantic. Nice, over 5 kilo Atlantic salmon. All right, so the white and orange snatchers are doing pretty well. This blue snatcher has not been getting much action, so I'm going to go ahead and swap it over to a white. Do 2 whites and 1 orange. There we go. Does that have something on it? Nope, just dragging the bottom, I guess. The other reason I asked about the summer blockbusters and everything going on. I haven't seen. I know that there was. I guess there was the new Fast and Furious came out as well, but it seems like there's just nothing big coming out this year. I just saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie last night that came out a couple months ago. It was pretty decent for they did a good job of sticking to the lore and everything of the world, which was a nice change of pace from what Hollywood usually does with that franchise. All right, so hopefully we've got 1 Atlantic salmon out here. We'll get we can get a few more. Be in good shape. Get those 20, 30 silver a piece fish. Start racking those up. Another little pike. Man, there's a lot of tiny pike hitting today. Since we did get that Atlantic and we're doing okay, I'll wait to go down the eastern section. We'll stick around here in the islands a little bit longer. Have you caught any squid out there at the Norwegian Sea yet? That was one I was hoping to. I was hoping to get squid or crab on my trips out there, but never managed to hook either of them. We got so far, so yeah, these 2 salmon are only real profit so far. Those are both probably about 10 to 15 silver a piece. No squid. Yeah, I guess the squid, you have to go to like the really deep holes and have very specific setups to get them, from what it seemed like. I was surprised I didn't get any. I know my first Norwegian sea trip, the crabs hadn't been added yet, but my second one was like a few days after they added the crab, and I was hoping to get one, but I never managed to. I wonder if I know some people had mentioned that there were, in the posters in the town out there, there's a couple species that aren't in the game yet. I wonder if those are still planned to be added, or if the poster was just kind of a tease and not something they're planning on implementing. All right, looks like we may have another, hopefully, Atlantic salmon on the line. Looks like it. All right, another 5 kilo Atlantic. If I can keep getting those brought in, I'll be in good shape. And get that Model 1 tonight. Let me position myself a little bit here. Yeah, I'm not sure what the species are that are on the posters that aren't there yet, but hopefully, because they were, the first few updates they added stuff came pretty quickly after the sea was released, and it's been like a month or so now since there's been anything, so hopefully it comes through there. Appreciate that. Yeah, if we can get that's 2 decent Atlantics so far, so we can keep that going. This will be a nice profitable run. This is, ooh, looks like a Ladoga. Yep, almost 3 kilo Ladoga salmon. So these are the days I like to have out here in Volkhov. Bring those salmon in left and right. That's the money days. Got something on line 2 again. If we're lucky, I'll have a couple cafe orders I can fill at the end of the night that will push me over the edge to be able to get the Model 1. No 2 kilo pike there. I wonder if there are any other color snatchers that are good to try out here. Yeah, Volk is, in my experience, Volk is like it kind of rotates. So one day, like in in-game days, it'll be really active for me in-game, and then the next day it'll just be dead, and it'll just keep like sort of going back and forth like that. But yeah, some days, like if it's rainy, the pike are just insane out here, which is nice. Got something on line 1. Oh, and on line 2 now, it looks like. Another little chub. Getting a lot more chub than I usually get out here. One of my best days out here, asp were really active, and I caught like 4 asp that were over 5 kilo, and those were like 50 silver each. Really nice. Yeah, haven't done quite that much. I think my best night out here was with cafe orders was basically 599 silver and some change for just under 2 hours. It was pretty good, but nothing to dance over really. In my opinion, like there's more potential for profit out here in Volkhov, whereas Quarry is just more consistent. Hey, Furious. Good. How about yourself? Yeah, that was a fun night on Volkhov for sure. Need more of them like that. fishing anywhere tonight, Furious? Oh, there's another Ladoga. We're getting a good bit of salmon tonight, so that bodes well. If that stays true for the rest of the night, I should be able to get enough money to get the Model 1 finally. Especially if we can hook a couple like 10-kilo salmon. Catching some more grass out on Old Bird, very nice. Yeah, I'm trying to get the last bit of money I need to get the Model 1, which is like 1,600 something silver, and I'm at a little over 1,100. And that will have me covered for a while on spin fishing, and then I'm going to start looking into what I need to get for float setups for Seversky and the Sura River. Aw, dang. Well, at least you got some silver out of it before it died. Another pike. Yeah, so far once I get all the lines cast back, I'll pull my keep net up. The salmon are hitting a little better than they've been lately, which is giving me some hope. So we're at, I've already got 4 Ladoga, one of them's over 5 kilo, and got 2 Atlantics over 5 kilo. Yeah, that's when the salmon are hidden, that's the best hope you got, because you get a few of those 10-kilo salmon, you're set. Another pike there, almost 3 kilo. So Fierce, do you have any knowledge on the float fishing needs for Seversky and Donitz? So we were asking that earlier, but I have no clue like what load capacity or what baits I should be preparing for to go float fishing out there. And tonight's tea, by the way, is an apricot tea by the Franck brand. Try to get in view of the camera here. There we go. Pretty good little fruit-based tea. I'm going to look into tomorrow. I'm going to try and do some research on making my own tea and do some streams just making and trying teas, get some viewer ideas on blends to put together. Be fun. This is an unusual amount of chub for this area. Haven't been there yet. Yeah, carp fishing, in my opinion, carp fishing is the most fun fishing on here when it's when they're hitting. But so I certainly don't blame you for getting hooked on the carp. And because of that terrible pun, we're gonna have to throw out the carp emoji. Ooh, here we go. Do we have another Atlantic on the line? This one's fighting. All right. Hopefully so. This one is a little bit of a bad setup, so the tension's not completely indicative of the strength because I've got the Titan on here, but this rod is only supposed to handle 11 kilos, so it's a bit of a risky run. All right, here we go. Let's get this sucker up to the top of the water. Come on, Atlantic. So I've got this particular rod is the S70, which is only 11 kilo max. But the Titan is there we go, almost 6 kilos. There's our third Atlantic for the night. There goes, yeah, the Titan is like a 12.7 kilo, I don't know why I cast that. That one's right for real, but the Titan goes up to 12.7 max drag. So I just have to be a little bit conservative with if I hook something really big, I just need to keep the friction brake down. If I go back in time when I get the Titan again, It's a good question. I'd have to honestly, I'd have to look at the price difference between the Titan and the Alpha. Um, if if the Alpha was more than like 300 silver more than the Titan, probably. But if they were close in price, I probably, in retrospect, would have saved up and gotten a second Alpha instead of the Titan first. Yeah, I mean, honestly, and the nice thing about the Titan is that if you go for long spools, like it's got a massive spool and it can go to like 600 meter of line. Another pike. So it's certainly not a bad rod, but I think the Alpha is only a couple hundred silver more. It doesn't have, I guess, for carp, I think the Titan is better because the Titan does have that long amount of line that you can have on there, which is important for carp fishing since you generally aren't on a boat to be able to catch up to the fish. But for trolling, I think saving up and getting the Alpha is better than the Titan for an entry level one. Now, the biggest thing now that I've tested it, if I had known how much of a difference it made, I would have absolutely upgraded the Adriatica all the way very early on. But I think overall the Titan's it's decent because it works well enough for trolling. It's great for quarry, and with that extra line lead, it's good for carp. So it's not bad. Get in here, fish. There we go. Almost 3 kilo pike. As far as rods go, yeah, the bite rate's been fairly decent out here tonight, and especially with salmon. Usually it's like 1 or 2 salmon an hour, and I've already got like 6 or 7. Another decent pike there. Yeah, so I mean, there are some other mechanics involved, like smaller reels, for example, apparently have a built-in higher bite rate. Kind of like ultralight setups have a higher bite rate, but generally, yeah, the spool size and drag, if you care about that, there is like the mechanical weight as well. If you're going for really big fish, you need to know what the mech weight is on the reel. So if you have to full lock, you sort of know what your limitations are. But I think that for casual players, suggesting to just save up for an HSV right off the bat, which is generally the usual suggestion, I don't think is necessarily the correct one for a player that's like going for hardcore efficiency on the stuff. It's a good way to go, but I think for a casual player, you'll get a lot of mileage out of picking up something like the Adriatica and upgrading it, or because I mean with the Titan and the Alpha, you can get the reel and the rod you need for the same price of just getting the HSV. And that's a big gotcha moment there. As you save up for the HSV, you finally get to that 2,800 and change silver. You pick it up and you're like, oh crap, wait, I need like another 1,000 silver for the rod and another 100 silver for the line. So it's a lot to save up for a casual player. Speaking of the HSV, it looks like, yep, got something on the HSV over there. Yeah, those carp rods are pricey. Now, this Belmore rod, I definitely don't regret picking it up. It's not only is it a great looking rod, but I mean, it does the job. It handles the HSV. It's not really future-proofed, which is unfortunate, but for when you just get the HSV and you want something to troll with, like using it, it's perfectly fine. Got some tea here. Loving the bite rate right now. Looks like it's rain starting over here, so we should be getting a lot of pike, I imagine. Ooh, and some asp. I don't mind if those are biting now, too, because those can get very profitable very quick. Love it when it's a good day on Volkhov. Another one already. Small pike. One quality of life thing that I would love to see changed is on the spool indicator on the screen. It's based off of the total line you can have on the reel rather than the size of line you have on there, which is kind of frustrating because you have, like, right now I've got on the Titan, I've only got half the length of a line that this reel can handle. So it always looks like I'm halfway spooled, and it makes it hard to judge sometime, like how much line you have out there. Got something on line 2 again. Come on, salmon. It's another decent one. Here we go. Looks like an asp, nope, chub. Ooh, a 3 kilo chub. It is weird how many chub are biting over here today. I've never seen them this active in this part of the map. All right, Alpha, do your thing. Bring me this fish in. Come on, come on. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Looks like an asp. Big old asp. Nope, big old chub. Almost 4 kilo. Man, they're just getting bigger and bigger. Mostly because I didn't get the large length of line, mostly because when I got the setup, I was pretty much out of silver. So I just never went back and updated to the longer lead, because honestly, like since I tend to just chase the fish anyways, whether I'm fishing from the shore going after carp or on a troll on a boat, I just chase the fish, so I haven't found quite the need for it yet, but once I start finding some of those, like, I know, like, once I get to the Ladoga maps, those fish can run with their lines so fast, that's when I'll definitely have to make that upgrade. Another little Ladoga there. Do you have something on you? Yes, you do. Definitely a good bite rate tonight. Little baby pike. I didn't check the cafe orders before I left, but hopefully we'll have 1 or 2 of those to fill when the night's over. Now, if I went over to this area, I'd probably be getting some pretty large pike, I imagine, right now. Yeah, that might be the case. I'm actually not sure on that one, Twitch. I mean, I think more or less the ball bearings and the friction brake and grease are going to be the most wear, but got something on line 2 again. I definitely am a believer in upgrading the oil after now doing it on the Adriatica, so I will start maybe being more mindful of upgrading that when I get to the lakes with bigger fish in them. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Looks like, ooh, a big chunky pike. There we go, over 6 kilo. I feel like the night started with only small fish, and they've just been steadily getting larger. Fine by me. Give it another hour. Maybe we'll have some 20 kilo salmon hitting. Yeah, the line just seems to it just takes so long to wear that I don't think it's something to necessarily worry too much about. Although I don't know how much I've only used the rental line at the sea. I don't know how much that marine line costs. If it's like 3,000 silver, then yeah, doing whatever you can to reduce wear would make sense. On here? No, it's just kind of switching over there. Yeah, it's the downside of braided line. You get cheap to buy, but you get what you pay for. Alright, sun is going to be setting here soon. This is where I really wish I had a full set of extra good reels so I could just hot swap over to feeder lines to go for burbot at night. But by the time I get all of my lines and reels swapped over to the feeder rods, night's almost over. One day, though. One day. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. Especially when the night is so short here in Volkhov. It's from like, it seems like the nighttime here is only about like 4 minutes in real time. Yeah, that makes sense. Going after just some rough and small bream, things like that. So you can just use like some Lacertes and old stuff laying around. I almost wonder if got something online too again. I wonder if burbot can be caught over there at the feeder spot on a float setup. Like switch to the telescopic maybe at nighttime and just hang out over there. Yeah, bourbon. I've only caught a couple eel out here, and they're actually oddly on while trolling. Another Ladoga, 3.5 kilo. Um, yeah, the burbot are great at nighttime. Actually, at that spot right over there in those weeds, I got really good bite rate on burbot, but I haven't tried fishing for burbot with a telescopic rod. I would assume that if you're using the same bait and you have it set for basically the bottom depth, that it should work. I don't know. Some things are a little weird like that. Got something on again. There's a baby chub. All right, let's turn around. How many salmon are we up to? We're up to 6 Ladoga and 3 Atlantic. Not too shabby. Considering normally my luck out here is like 1 salmon per hour. That's fantastic for my usuals. Would have been nice if one of them was at least an 8 kilo. Get back in line there. I might, because I wouldn't have to swap any reels or anything over, I might try going over to that spot over there and seeing if I can get any burbot with a telescopic from the boat. Because I know trolling's a waste of time at night out here. Does that have something on? Do a little trick here. Yes, okay. Something's got a fish on, so I'm gonna guess it's that one. Must be small, whatever it is. Wow. 69 perch. Nice. All right, so rain has stopped. Hopefully the salmon will pop back out now. So you're still trying to get some more carp out of amber over there, Furious, or have you moved to a different spot now that it's dried up? Or Oldberg, I mean. Which another thing for early game players that I highly recommend early game players try is at the Whiting Rivulet, the dock right there next to the cafe is so good for so many species of fish that early game I can go there and spend an hour and fill like 5 or 6 of those easy cafe orders for bleak and rough, gudgeon, mussels, all that. It's an easy way to get money in those early levels when you don't have access to much. Grass is a day, bream at night. Very nice, very nice. Hopefully there'll be some good cafe orders for you. One of the best grass carp orders there is when there's that one for like a 15.99 kilo grass carp that's worth like 90 silver. Love that one. I really hope at some point they add a cafe to Bear Lake. It needs one. Cafe's been terrible all weekend. Ah, that's a shame. What do we got? Another little pike? Yep, 1 kilo. It's like the Quarry Cafe for trolling. It's generally terrible. I almost never have an order I can fill at Quarry if I've been trolling. Alright, nighttime is approaching, so I do think I may try going to this spot over here in the weeds and see if I can get some burbot on a telescopic from the boat while the night's fully in place. I mean, the Norway Cafe is decent. I think some like here, I've had a couple that are really good. There's one here in Volkhov that I've been able to fill like twice. That's just a few. It's like 4 kilo pike, which isn't too bad. And it's like almost 200 silver, which is really nice. But I do agree that like targeting stuff for cafes is often more trouble than it's worth. Oh, here we go. But especially when they have those ones where like catch basically a trophy fish, like you're not paying enough to try and target a trophy fish. Another pike. But I do think part of the problem with some of the lakes is so Oldberg, for example, with that there's that large grass carp order that's good, but at the same time it is a 16 kilo minimum size grass carp, which isn't particularly common to get there. So I feel like some of them, for at least for the floating feeder fish species, they should probably revisit either the payout or the size or quantity or something, because it does get very difficult to fill a lot of those. And I think that's a lot of the reason why so many people prefer just trolling and bream fishing, because you can just take advantage of a high quantity of fish to make up for it. See, it looks like we got an ad break just started here. So that'll be going on for a couple minutes here just to prevent pre-roll ads. That one snuck up on me. Usually I try to put a warning out about it before it starts, but should be coming up on nighttime here in the next couple minutes, probably about when the ad break ends. You can try that telescopic fishing. But yeah, I do agree that like the cafe orders are, I think honestly what they need to do with cafe orders also is they should award some XP. Because in theory, I think they're a great idea, giving you sort of like, they're almost like, I mean, MMO quests, basically like, hey, this is your daily, go after these fish. And if you take the time and effort to actually target those fish over doing something that's generally more productive in XP and silver, like trolling or bream fishing, then I think the cafe should award you for it. So I think having to give some XP in addition to the silver would be a very positive change. I know, like early game, that was, I always kept a note of like what the most common orders were, and I would be saving fish in my net overnight and everything to scrape by with the silver. But then once I actually tried trolling, I was like, oh, I was wasting my time. If I need silver, I can just do trolling, and it's much more efficient. Which is unfortunate because personally, I like the float and feeder fishing more. But until you are a high enough tier to be able to just have super carp setups and all the different boilie flavors and everything, it's just night and day difference what you can make feeder fishing versus trolling. Yeah, that definitely makes sense for the sea. Save those orders for the next day, see if they pop up. Some of those are very lucrative. All right, start turning around, heading back that way, and probably get ready to pull out the telly stick and see if we can't get some burbot. Yeah, that's a nice one. It kind of has to be nice profit out there at Norway because everything's so dang expensive. Another little baby pike. The pike are a lot smaller than usual. I'm kind of curious how much that, what was the size of that chub I got? Almost 4 kilo. I'm kind of curious how much that'll be worth. That's pretty big for a chub out here. I imagine it'll still probably only be worth like 6 silver, but it's something at least. Pays for half a boat ticket. Alright, so I'm going to head towards the burbot spot and set anchor and see if burbot will hit on a telly rod. Just to answer that question. Oof. Yeah, that is something that can happen if you overfish a particular spot. I don't know what the cooldown, like, because that's more of like a personal spot area and not like a universal hotspot one, and I don't know what the cooldown is for that. You fished the whole lake out. Which I think is, on one hand, it is an interesting mechanic to incentivize going to different bodies of water. Ooh, there we go. Got something splashing around out there. But it can be so hard to tell when things happen like that. Get on in here, Pike. Almost 3 kilo. Nice, your third HSV in Fortuna. You're doing pretty well then. Very sure you want to get an HSV and not an Adriatica. I mean, with all that money, you can easily do a fully upgraded Adriatica and go after Beluga. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Leveling again, I would, like I said earlier, if I had known how big a difference it made, I would have absolutely upgraded that Adriatica pronto. All right, so now that the sun is fully set, let's see if we can catch some burbot on the old red stick over here. Be right around in this spot. All right, let's see, red stick. Put a decent size hook on here. Size 6 will do. Throw some pieces of fish on. So the reason for the Adriatica is, am I drifting even with the anchor out? What's going on here? This anchor is not very effective, guys. So the Adriatica, the reason is that if you do the full upgrade for it, including the really good grease for it, it's basically a Saber 60 for half the cost. And it has, because it's such a small reel, it actually has an improved bite rate. All right. I guess this area I probably need to go about. We'll start at 1.5 meters, see if that's, or we'll do 1.20 meters, see if that's on the bottom. And I need a bigger bobber on here. Okay, this didn't work as planned. I did not expect this anchor to be worthless. So I guess if that's going to be the case, I'll just go ahead and move to shore. Oh yeah, I mean the HSV is a lot better. We're talking about like early game when we need a good starter reel that's going to last you a long time. All right, let's try this again. Put a larger bobber on and toss it out. Yeah, see, in my opinion, that's where I think that the payouts sometimes are a little iffy on those, because like a 34 kilo black carp is so rare on Old Bird that 600 silver is kind of pathetic for it. Like if you've managed to catch one of those at Old Bird, you should get like at least 1,000 silver. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, I can reverse on there, Twitch. I was actually had the anchor dropped and it just drifted so much. And yeah, I don't think this is going to work because of the current is just pushing this into the shore. So do I have this is set up for something. It's already got, okay, I guess I already had this set up for some burbot fishing, so I'll give it a shot. Yeah, for like a black carp that big, like it should be worth a lot more. Yeah, so like the Adriatica for you can get it fully like with the really big upgraded and a good oil for like 450 silver, and that makes it good up to nine. It's good, gives it a 9 kilo effective max drag, and you can get that plus a rod for the same price as getting the sabers. So I think it's a really good sort of entry level reel that's going to be good for light carp fishing and definitely works fine on quarry, and it even works fine enough out here. Um, like you might have, if you get a like a 10 kilo salmon, you're gonna have to chase it. But I've used the mid tier upgrade Adriatic out here with no issue. So I think it's a really good budget friendly option for sort of like a starter reel because it does like especially if you're a casual player, it's a lot of work to get that first HSV. So I think the Adriatic is a really good entry point. Come on, Burbot. Take that tasty fish I put out there for you. I wonder, I wish you could see, without being at the workshop, I wish you could see like the options you can have on reels. But I definitely plan, just for fun, the next time I go to Norway, I'm going to put these saltwater resistant ball bearings on the Adriatica and throw it out there. Oh, okay, you're talking about it to him. Sorry about that. Yeah, see, I mean, a third HSV would be good, but I'm telling you, man, the Adriatica, it's just, you can't beat it. I remember what was the, let me look at the Sputnik. So the big problem with the Sputnik is, I mean, it's got decent line capacity, but it's not as good as the Titan. Got power and carp fishing bonuses versus the Titan, which I think the big thing of the Titan is that it doesn't have power fishing, maybe? Is that the deal on that? Yeah, so Titan is not as good at power fishing, but I mean, it's fine. I think it's, I don't regret getting it when I did. Come on, give me at least one burbot. Oh, got something on the line. Is it my burbot? There we go. Oh, it's so tiny. Sun will be popping back up for too long. Wee babby burbot. You know, it'd be cool if this game had a system in place where if you released fish, it would sort of help increase the how do you get like the XP for doing it? It'd be cool if releasing them would actually improve the catch rate tables for that area. Like maybe it'll increase the bite rate or increase the size average or something like that. Because I know Way of the Hunter, while not a fishing game, has a similar system like that for hunting, where you can selectively kill. Like if you find a group of deer, you can kill off certain. Like if you see like the male there has a really good antler set on it, you can try and like make them selectively breed by going after particular ones in that group and help increase the basically the overall quality of that group, which is really neat. And I'd love to see something like that implemented in this, where you could, you know, if you catch a fish and release it, you'll sort of seed better catch rate in the area. It'd be really neat to see that. All right, now the sun's starting to come back up. We got one burbot at least. Go ahead and get back to trolling. Hopefully get some more salmon on the line. Yeah, out of these reeds here. Let's go ahead and get trolling mode. We could hope so, though. We could hope so. I also do feel like the release XP bonus is like, it's okay, but silver is so important that it's usually hard to stomach not keeping the fish for the silver. And I know the biggest release I had, I think, was one of the black carp I had. The release was like another 15,000 XP, which at the level I got it would have been nice, but at the same time, I really needed the like 40 silver that fish was worth, so 15k XP didn't seem worth it. All right, so let's hope for as good of a bite rate today as yesterday. Looks like we've already got something on. Maybe that may have just been it snagging a rock or something. Nope. Oh yeah, I guess it was. All right then. All right, come on now, salmon. I'm ready for that Model 1. Just about out of tea. I will say this apricot tea, I've had this, most citrus teas I seem to find have this quality about them where they are really good when it's fresh and hot, but their flavor kind of gets a little bit too, I don't know, like acidic-y kind of as the beverage cools down. So we're just something like an oolong tea, it can go all the way down to room temperature and still taste fine. Some of those citrus-based teas don't hold their flavor as well when it starts to cool off. I don't know if anybody else has that experience with them or not, but it's definitely a trend I see. Like it starts getting almost like sickly sweet. Cucumber time. All right, wake up, fish. Like citrus anywhere? It does have a lot of flavorful fruits in its genus for sure. Wonder how bad a banana-based tea would be. I love bananas, but I don't think they would make a good tea. That may be one I tried to make. Yeah, it'd be a weird one for sure. But if I'm going to make some tea, I might as well go weird and experiment, right? Like I may have switched to trolling a little too early. Probably could have stuck around for another burbot. Here we go. First fish of the morning. What do we got? I'll probably just get fresh banana and dehydrate them myself, and then is that a? No, it's a pike. For a second there, I thought that was a burbot. Almost 4 kilo. Let's have a pretty good dehydrator, so I'll probably dehydrate the bananas myself, grind them up, and try to look at what other herbs would be good to mix in there for it. I'm wondering if any of the local trees around here would produce flavorful enough leaves to make a tea out of. Potentially the magnolias or mulberries we get around here could make a good tea. I don't know. Experiments will definitely have to be done to find out. All right, come on, salmon. I need to finish filling this keep net up. Not doing too bad though for Volkhov standards. 50 an hour. Decent bit of which were salmon. Better than the last couple nights I've been out here. Here we go, here we go. Now we got another big one on. Ooh, feisty. We got another Atlantic. Didn't see it. Anybody see what that was? Definitely a salmon of some sort. Looks like another Atlantic. All right, there we go. Broke the 6 kilo. All right. Money fish. Jeez. Is that what, is that, what, saw someone was, is that the G-Tet that's doing that right now? That is a heck of a fight right there. That's when you get a rock to put on the mouse, or you get, when you replace the mouse click with a key. Because I got 3 hours in, my wrist would be dead if I was doing that just holding the mouse click down. Fun fight it sounds like though. Yeah, once you get to that level that G10 some of those guys are, it's like you don't need to farm silver anymore, so you can just specifically target those ridiculously big fish. That'll be fun one day when I get there. Yeah, that was like that catfish I caught on the Titan. The catfish was worth 120 silver, and the repairs in total were, not counting the lure, which I mean it was only a few percent probably, but the damage to everything on the reel and rod was like almost 80 silver. So it paid off, but only barely. Speaking of, haven't checked this week. Has anybody taken my place there? Volkhov, USA, catfish. Nope, still in third. All right. That was such a fight. That's one that may have broken the Adriatica if it had gone on that line instead. Maybe. Or it may have just been an extra hour of fighting. Alright, time for this bite rate to pick back up already. Yeah, it's there should still be the highlight where I put the full fight on my videos somewhere on the channel, but yeah, it was brutal. Several times I was ready to throw in the towel, but everyone kept cheering me on to keep me going. It was not an easy fight at all because it was just so much weight for the Titan that it was just I basically had to try and steer it into the shallow water so that I could actually get it up high enough to put it in the net. Another little baby pike. And some shoreline. There we go. A pro tip for the boats with their awful turn radius: if you don't have another line in your hands, a quick shift turn, the turn radius is so much better. Nice. Back to the old amber. Good, good. Get some nice carp out there. Find a carpzilla for us. That'd be if you fish the whole lake out, then we got another set of problems. Working on your first trophy of a particular carp species, or just carp in general trophy? Oh boy, 63 grams. I'm surprised the HSV pulled that in. That's a lot of weight. Carp in general. Yeah, I think I've got gibble carp trophies, but I don't think we can count gibble as carp. Them and crucium, they're just they're carp wannabes. That's what I'm going with. Mussels and garlic. Actually, I haven't kept up with what the what bait people have been using at Amber. I know krill and mussels were really big a week or so ago. Bite rate's definitely slower today than it was the past two, so we'll give it till about 11. If it doesn't pick up in this spot, I'll move over to the eastern side. Come on, salmon. See gamers looking for some small fillet. Do I have any I can send him? I don't even know where. Okay, I've only got, I guess I do have some I can send over to him, 46 pieces. No one else has. Oh, you sent him some Twitch? Cool, appreciate that. Yeah, see all that mix you're making for the bait on the carp. That sounds like carp fishing in real life. The most disgusting smelling baits imaginable. Ugh. Hey, look at that. That's a lucky pike. 777. That one's worth a jackpot, right? All right. You know, salmon don't start biting on this round through. I can start moving towards the pike spots to the east. Got something on. And a 1 kilo pike. All right, come on out, salmon. Looks like I'm about almost 2/3 of the way through level 24. Yeah, Volkhov's in a weird spot because I guess it must be more efficient than Sura and Seversky because it seems like everyone just stays on Volkhov until they unlock Amber and Ladoga. So when I go there, I don't expect it to be the most profitable adventures, but variety is the spice of life, as they say. Melange is the spice of the galaxy. Here we go. Speaking of melange and spice of the galaxy, hey, all right, another spin fishing game and another salmon. Right. The second of the new Dune movies comes out later this year, I believe. Hopefully it's holds up. Turned around here. Got no fish. See, that's my worry is that it's going to be one of those here splash one just got fish on. My concern is it's kind of going to be one of those areas where you pretty much have to do the active hotspots with the exact right bait, or you just won't catch anything. But we'll see. I'll play around on them. If it's no good, it's no good, but it's worth trying at least. That's how I feel like Bear Lake is. If you're not on an actively known hotspot using the exact right bait, you just won't get anything. Yeah, it should be Another thing I want to try at some point is doing basically the next time I need to do a real repair, or really whenever I need to do a real repair, I want to do a stream during the repair time where I'm just walking around the map, seeing all the stuff you can, all the sites you can see. Because sometimes there's some spots where you can tell the developers like put a little extra effort into the scenery and stuff. So be fun with them to do. Another Ladoga. All right. Salmon are picking back up. That's what I want to see. Yeah, bears so far of the lakes I've been to is the worst about that. Of like, if you're either on the right spot with the right bait, and it's going to be getting you a lot of money, or you're just completely out of luck, which is annoying. Balaya, I think, comes close, but I think the problem with Balaya is less having to be at the right spot and more like you really have to have the correct ultralight tackle and reel speed. Yeah, like that's absolutely true on Bear Lake. Like I said, if it's not on, if it's not hot, it's dead. There's no in between. Another pike, 1 kilo. Yeah, bears. Luckily, it's been about the last week and a half or so. It's been okay. There was a few weeks ago it was in one of its dead zones where it's just a waste of time to even try. But it absolutely is one of those ones where I can even if you're using the active bait, if you're not in the exact right spot, nothing's hitting. It's a very, very picky lake. Which is why, to me, I think Oldberg is a better lake than Bear, because Oldberg, you can generally catch stuff just, maybe at a lower bite rate, but you can at least catch stuff and not feel like you wasted your time. Bear, you can absolutely waste the time. Yeah. Yeah, Oldberg and Quarry, they're like the two most reliable early game areas, because you can always get stuff there. I mean, Wine Rivulet is really consistent as well, but you can't really make money there when you get to where you need expensive stuff. Yeah, that's the good thing is those grass carp, the black carps definitely. Even the grass carp though, they'll pay for a trip out there and get you some profit. Something on line 2 here. Balaya and Bear Lake, though, are two that, on more than one occasion on each, I've gone out there and wasn't able to make back my trip cost in an hour, which is miserable. There's almost 4 kilo pike. Got a little cucumber action. Got something on line 2 again. So overall, the bite rate here has been pretty good today, so cannot complain. The last couple times out here in Volkhov, it was definitely a lot more dead. Another pike. And the other thing about Oldberg is that there's almost always bleak and rough orders at the cafe that are really easy to fill, and they're not too shabby. Like sometimes they're like 40 silver. You can fill them in 15 minutes if you're out there at the right time. Alright, so what are we at on salmon here? We've got 8 Ladoga and 4 Atlantic. Too shabby at all. That's probably going to be the majority of our profit unless there's a cafe order. Because everything else has been small. Yep, not a bad haul overall. That's the thing about Volkhov compared to Quarry is that you'll catch 100 fish and like 5 of those fish are going to be half of your money. All right, what we got on here? I'm going to guess about a 4.5 kilo salmon of some sort. Oh, maybe might be a 5 kilo. Yeah, 5.3 kilos Atlantic. All right, another Atlantic in the bed. Here we go. Hopefully we should be able to. I don't think I'm going to make enough to, unless there's some cafe orders. I don't think I'll get quite enough to get the Model 1. But I should get pretty close. This is probably going to be at least around at least 350 silver tonight. Another little pike there. We're lucky though. Let's see. I got quite a bit of chub, so maybe there'll be a chub order I can fill. Usually the pike orders here need to be fairly sizable pike, which I did not get. So if we can get a decent chub order, then I imagine this will probably be over 400 silver. Just very close to what I need for the Model 1, but just not quite there. But there's still time. Got about 10 more minutes before night falls, and then I'll head back to the docks for turn-in. We got on line 1 here. Little baby pike again. This is, the pike have been tiny today, which is unusual. Generally they're averaging at least over a kilo out here. Another chub. All right, come on, salmon. We can get like one good 10 kilo salmon, then that will probably be enough to put the haul over what I need to get the Model 1. Come on, come on. Let's see, as far as pike go, only got like, okay, well I actually did get that 6 kilo one I forgot about, but if these were each like 2 kilo higher, then if that big pike order were out there, I might be able to do that, but It's not a bad idea throwing some ground bait around here, doing that. I'll have to try that next time. What's a good ground bait recipe for salmon? I guess like bloodworms and stuff, probably. What was that? That's what that was. Fish on line too. It's, you know, you may be joking, but it's really like it might not be a bad idea if I just like peppered the area with a ground bait that might attract them. It's not the worst idea to try. All right, there's another almost 4 kilo pike. There might be a pike order I'll be able to fill as well if we're lucky. Just not the especially good one if it's up, unfortunately. Yeah, because I know ground bait works for float fishing, so it's entirely possible it'll work for trolling. I mean, you would probably need a lot of ground bait to pepper around, but another Ladoga. Over 2 kilo. All right. The salmon are gonna be my my breadwinners today. I'd imagine if there's one for char, I would imagine salmon would be pretty much the same. But it's just a question of whether or not ground bait effects actually work on lures, I guess. Oh, we have another salmon. Nope, another pike. 3 kilo. Yeah, we got a decent bit of pike over 3 kilo now, so maybe we'll have a cafe order we can do. I wish you could look at cafe orders without having to be at the actual cafe. Doo-doo. Windows Shift S. I thought it was Alt F4. You know, I'm kind of, now that we mentioned Windows key shortcuts, I'm kind of curious if sticky keys is counted as a game sound and will go through Twitch or not. I don't necessarily want to try it while I'm out here trolling, but I'm curious. Another pike. Yeah, I've got a few various print screen shortcuts on top of that as well. Hey, here we go. Got something lighting up the HSV. That's what I like to hear. Will it be a good 7 kilo plus Atlantic. Will we be so lucky? Putting up a fight, that's for sure. I do believe this will be the largest fish of the night. Up here. All right, looks like I've got it in now. Got a little bit of a second wind there. Come on up here, fish. A nice comfy boat for you to lay in. This reminds me of my, I'd love to see, drink some coffee to fight this sucker. Love to see a fishing simulator developer work with a manufacturer like Mad Catz or somebody to make a really good haptic feedback reel to use with the game. That would be really cool. Ooh, this sucker's, this may be a 10 kilo plus salmon. Come on. Alright, let's try drinking some tea, see if that helps my energy. This sucker is draining my energy like crazy. I almost wonder if it's I don't think it is because it had some random fight to it, but it almost felt like a catfish with this fact that it hasn't come to the top of the water yet. Alright, so I'm going to just stop reeling for a minute here, let my energy recover. Yeah, the catfish they just sit there and be heavy. That's all they do. Make sure this thing doesn't get too slack on me while I recover energy. Come on, get back to green. This is on the HSV, so we should have a decent fish on our hands here. Once I actually manage to pull it in. Alright, here we go. Back to full speed reel. Come on. I don't know, that the way it's doing that twitching there, this may actually be a catfish. Nope, it's just a giant Atlantic. All right. 8 kilo. Money. That's what I see. And over here, we've got something significantly smaller. Oh, perch. All right, so I think that Atlantic was a good one to finalize since the sun's about to set. Anyways, I'm gonna start heading back towards the dock and see what our total haul is for the night. I don't think we're gonna get enough to get the Model 1, but it should be pretty good if we can get at least a halfway decent cafe order from the perch or the chub, then there's ought to at least be at maybe 400 or so silver. And there's always the possibility we land another lunker between here and the docks, so let's see how it goes. Yeah, hopefully it'll be more than that. I need about 500, I think, to get to Model 1. Yeah, it's a bunch of salmon, but unfortunately, like this one should be worth a good bit, but most of them are probably going to be like maybe 20 silver salmon, none of the like big 40 to 50 silver a piece ones. So we shall see. We shall see. See if I can't do some speed up and twitching on this to catch a asp or something on the way back. Go. Usually when I go across the 3-meter hole there, I pick up some random Xander or something, so. Always worth continuing the troll all the way back. Here we go. Got maybe something decent again. Ooh. Believe that was an Atlantic. Or maybe even bigger than the last one. Maybe not. They just had a little bit of big fight to it at the beginning there. Still should be a decent fish though. Woo! Yep, another Atlantic. Come on, jump on into the boat. You know you want to. Come on, it's right there. Oh, nope. All right. The fight continues. Seems like the orange snatcher is the MVP tonight. It's like an ad break is starting in about 30 seconds here. I'm going to maneuver myself and put a delay on that so we don't miss the fight. There we go. Got that delayed. All right, so what are we thinking? We're thinking bigger than the last one or smaller? I'm leaning towards bigger. Maybe a 9-kilo Atlantic. up here, salmon. Yeah, it's always nice when you get two back-to-back lunkers like this. Feels good. This one just doesn't want to give up the fight though. These last two salmon may be the ones that definitely push me over the 400 silver for the night mark. Come on. All right, here we go. This should be it. Nope, got some more fighting in the game. This could be the this could be a 10 to 12 kilo salmon here. It's a fighter. It's gonna fight me to the bitter end, that's for sure. Ooh, that's new. The getting some friction brake light up on the HSV. I can kind of balance 24 here. Yeah, could do that. Come on up here, salmon. You can do it. All right, is this going to be the pass that I can able to pull them in? It's still got fight in it. Jeez. Come on. Sucker's a... This is gonna be a good one for sure. At least a 10 kilo. Ooh. I may be able to get that Model 1 tonight after all. This sucker just does not want to give up. Where's he at? Where's he at? There he is. Come on. Get in the boat. Whee. Yeah, this could be close to a 12 kilo. So I've already done the news. I can't do another one. So an ad break's about to start. Those not subscribed. Probably still be fighting this thing all the way through the break. These are the kind of fish you like to end the night on for sure. Come on out of there, Mr. Salmon. You giving up finally? Going on about 10 minutes fighting this guy now. It's starting to feel like an Adriatica fight on the HSV. I have to start steering him towards some shallower water to pull in. I can get up beside him here and push him towards the one of the islands. Come on. Jeez. Get him up right here. Oh, here we go, here we go. Get in here, big chubby fish. Yeah, there we go. Almost 10.5 kilo Atlantic salmon. Very nice. Now we got something on the other line. Got a little cucumber action before reeling that in. Not nearly as impressive, but still over 2 kilo pike and a spin fishing skill gain, so I will take that. Alright, back to what we were doing, working our way towards the docks. 75 fish, that's a pretty good haul for Volkhov. Good bit of salmon there. Nice bit of Ladoga. Lots of pike. Alright. So, thanks to that last salmon there, I think I may be able to get the Model 1. This, thought I had a fish on here, guess not. Not that I expect anything to hit at nighttime, but who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and get a big burbot on the way back. Or an eel. I have had an eel hit on these lures once. What is that sound? I don't know if you guys hear that sound that went through, but it sounded like a plane flying over the map. It was 10.5 kilo, Furious. Chunky boy. Really curious what that sound there was. They're airdropping some more salmon and I fished them all out. That's what it is. I don't think so. I mean, the train's way down here, so, and the way the 3D audio was sounding, it sounded like it was going north to south. I mean, it could have been the train and just had a weird audio effect to it from this area, but very unusual. All right, here's to hoping I pick up an eel on the final stretch. Which I wonder, I don't think it's my biggest eel, but if it is, I can see what color I caught that one eel on here. Oh, it was the S003. That is the What is that? Is that the white? S02. Yeah, I think it is. Nope, I guess it's the orange. So if the eel hits on the orange one, that'll show that that's a decent one to use for them. I really need to get a second orange snatcher since it does tend to perform really well out here. I've got 2 blues and 2 whites already. Getting a second orange will complete the collection. And both of those large salmon were on the orange as well, so more proof in that case. The blue snatcher's weirdly kind of been my worst performer for as long as I've been doing Volkhov, and it was the one that everyone kind of recommends to get. Let's see if we get anything through the 3-meter hole and then beeline it to the docks. Gotta sleep sometime. Nope, nothing hit in the 3-meter hole, so go ahead and start reeling these in. Over 3 hours now, GTET's been fighting that Baltic, apparently. Those repair costs are going to be steep. All right, here we go. Let's what's everybody's guess on the fish net total? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 410. Before we look at it, I'm gonna go and just look at the fish market and see if there's any hope of anything there. It's the cafe. So we got 516 from Twitch. What's your guess, Furious? Yeah, I'll be able to. Okay, so see, right? Oh no, it's 5. Man, I thought that was 3.25 kilo at first. That would have been awesome, but alas, no such luck. No cafe orders whatsoever I can fill. We got 625 from Furious. All right, let's see what the grand total is, and then we'll look at some of the big fish to see what they were worth. Grand total, goodness gracious, 702 silver. All right, that's a really good haul. 350 silver an hour. All right, so our big winners here, the Ladoga, just generally pretty good. Little 32 there. Big boy Atlantic. Oh yeah, I mean that was 66. Those last 2 of the night were worth over 100 silver on their own. And all the rest of them were over 30 silver. Yeah, that was nice. So we got chub. How much was that big boy chub worth? Really? Still only not even 18 silver? That's a disappointment. Pike, we got yeah, we had one good pike on there over 30 silver. A few over 20. Whew, 701 silver. That's my best for the night for sure. And that leaves me with enough to get the Model 1 and have some left over for travel fees and stuff. And not only is it a Model 1, but it's the big boy Model 1. I am a little worried about the 15-gram minimum test. Doesn't matter for trolling, I guess, but if I want to do some regular spin fishing, it's a problem. But there we go. Model 1 S98. Ah, yeah. Now for those kits, let's verify that about the float fishing. So if any of them were Bolo, it'd be the Pro. Nope, it's still a telescopic, even on the Pro setup there. So, yeah, it should be really nice to have that rod. Then I can not worry about the Titan being on an undersized rod anymore. So let's see, Bolo rods. Let's look at this one. That goes up to 8.1 kilo. All of these seem to be 8.1. If I go to an expensive one, that's up to 14. So I don't know. I guess this is probably the one I need to go after is the linear. Get a couple of those and put Adriaticas on them. I guess seems to be the way to go. That looks like it's a cool looking rod. Bright red. Fits the Inferno name, but I have to do some research on Sura and Seversky, I guess. Yeah, it's very expensive for a float rod. I mean, even this is 500 silver for float fishing. That's a bit of a cost there, especially for something that can only handle up to 8.1 kilos. So I might definitely do some research on those, but go ahead and get these moved around before I forget all about it. Where is our new rod? There it is. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And the Alpha can go on the Belmore. I'll move all the leaders and all that over another time, but that's something I need to do. I need to upgrade my line for the Alpha and the Titan. They're both a little undersized. There we go. No more hairy fishing there. Let's go ahead and move them now while I'm thinking of it, actually. Last thing I want to do is get out there on the water and forget to move my leaders on and lose an lure right off the bat. There we go. Well, that was a good journey. Yeah, that is the difficulty of float fishing, is that especially having multiple rods out, you have that narrow window. I think like what I was doing early on, where I was doing 2 feeder rods and then a float fishing rod, it's a lot easier because you can just focus on the one float while your feeders do their thing. But it should be pretty challenging with 3 feeder or 3 float rods out, but we'll see how it goes. It's for science. And so it's a 2-second window, but I will say that the fish don't immediately leave. Like usually if you miss that window, they'll still do a few hits. But yeah, we'll see how it works out. I'll do some research on yeah, I think the better hooks will make them stay biting for about 10 seconds or so. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna be able to afford it for a little while. I'm gonna have to do some more trolling out here to get the Bolo rods for it. But I'll do some research, see what the proper size is out there, what size hooks I need to get, what bait, all that good stuff, and get it all ready to go. And hopefully in the very near future, we'll be able to do those 2. So got Seversky's gonna be, this one especially should be the best for floating. Sura, I guess Sura I'll probably do like 2 feeder rods and 1 float, but we'll get it all figured out. But that will be it for the night here. That was a fantastic haul. 700 silver with no cafe orders. That's something. This is the best night I've had at Volkhov, period. Yep, thanks for coming along. You guys have a good night and some good fishing at your lakes. Hope Amber continues to produce for you. Hope you get some squid out there in Norway Twitch, and I'll see you all next time. Take it easy.